Another mass shooting, and now another call for tighter gun laws. And so far, no action.
What makes you think this one could be a turning point?
Why Senator Bill Nelson thinks that this tragedy could be the one that finally makes a difference in Washington. Within the last 30 minutes, we just got another update from officials in Broward County about the school shooting that killed 17 people in Parkland. Good evening. I'm Martha Sigalski.
And I'm Greg Wormuth. Here is the very latest. The Broward sheriff says they had 20 calls for service in the last few years regarding Nikolas Cruz, the teen arrested for the shooting. He said investigators have interviewed more than 3,000 students and teachers so far. 7 people remain in the hospital tonight, but thankfully there are no more fatalities. And earlier today, Governor Rick Scott called for the FBI director to resign.
It came after that agency admitted it failed to properly handle a tip about the suspected gunman. Channel 9's Steve Barrett was there for the latest briefing. And Steve, the FBI addressed that major mistake just moments ago.
And Martha, it's the first time that they have addressed it directly. And this apparently was a very specific tip that came in early January, included the fact that Nikolas Cruz may have had a gun, included the fact that he may have been planning or somehow thinking and talking about a school shooting. And today, an FBI special agent that's in charge here down in Miami put it pretty frankly, saying that the FBI failed.
The FBI has determined that protocol was not followed. The information was not provided to the Miami field office, and no further investigation was conducted at that time.
And that special agent went on to say that he doesn't think that will do much to sort of appease the families of the victims. I want to show you something I haven't showed you yet. This is the growing memorial to the victims. You can see right here hanging crosses, 17 of them for all 17 of the victims, sitting right above the media staging area. And it's right over there where Senator Bill Nelson earlier today called for some big changes in gun control laws in Washington. Just as the school crossing lights in front of Douglas High don't know today is not just another school day, students who lived through the tragedy wonder if Americans will soon consider this just another school shooting.
When you hear about it from other places and other states and everything, you don't think about it and you don't think it's going to happen to you until it does.
Hannah Carvoci saw it all, and now here's students talking about gun legislation.
A lot of students are taking into account the gun reforms and this and that, but I just think that we should have higher level security into our schools.
We had the Pulse nightclub, we had the Fort Lauderdale airport, and now this, and that's just Florida, and that doesn't talk about Sandy Hook and Las Vegas and Columbine and so forth.
Senator Bill Nelson addressed reporters today, calling for a new day of cooperation in Washington. Afterward, I asked him what has changed. What makes you think this one could be a turning point?
The students speaking out boldly like I've never heard before. That may just be a difference.
And looking live right now, that's a couple of those students right there. That girl right there with the cast on her leg there, she actually said she had to escape all of this with that cast on the leg, making it worse. Another student that I talked to right here just a little while ago, he is actually a friend of Nikolas Cruz. I'm putting together for 6 o'clock an interview with him where he describes Cruz and what sort of led him down a deteriorating path. And he also tells me about how he actually walked out after the shooting and noticed that Cruz was walking right there with his friends. That interview's coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Parkland, Steve Barrett, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.